Hey guys, I got 4 Chinese stock picks to consider that aren't Alibaba, Pinduoduo, JD.com, right? NEO. Everyone knows these names, but these four aren't being talked about as much, and they have a lot of room to go up as well. So number one, let's start with Yum China, ticker symbol YUMC. This is probably the safest play. Their financials have held up well, even though of the slow times, in the economy in China, and now with obviously stimulus being pumped in, that's going to help their businesses, okay? So that has a dividend as well. Their financials are great, very cheap still. So Yum China, safest play out there. I have that in my long-term account. All four of these I own in my long-term account, and they're all small positions, guys. I don't want to have a big position because you can't trust everything, right, that's going on in China, and that's why I'm keeping it small. I do want to have exposure and diversification, though, over there, because I do think being the second largest economy with stimulus happening and more likely in the future that this economy is going to recover. And regardless of if Trump or Harris is president, mainland China is going to recover if they keep putting stimulus out there, okay? So anyways, Yum China, that's probably the safest one on the list. Next, let's talk about Canadian Solar, which I already put out videos on that, so so I don't have to spend too much time. Now, a lot of people think, oh, it's Canadian, right? Because it has the ticker Canadian Solar, but they have, or CSIQ is the ticker, right? But it's named Canadian Solar, but they get most of their revenue from China. And a lot of people don't know that. They have huge operations there. So that's why the stimulus happening there, plus interest rate cuts in America, because they do business there as well, that's a double benefit, right, for CSIQ. And that stock is dirt cheap, and the solar sector is interest rate sensitive. We just got 50 basis points of cuts and more coming. So I like that stock right now. Great risk reward. And then we got VNET, ticker symbol VNET, which is a play on the data centers out in China. And remember, China is spending more than the US and other countries combined on their AI infrastructure, so they don't have to rely on Taiwan Semiconductor or NVIDIA. And we just saw today with the news, they're trying to have companies, or encouraging companies to buy domestically, okay? So that's going to help VNET, guys. So this is one of my favorites because I like the data center space. They do have a lot of debt, though, but again, this is a small position, my long-term account. And again, wait for a dip if you can on these guys. Anything that's up, try to catch anything. We're not buying at the top at least, okay? And then last on the list here is Melco Resorts, ticker symbol MLCO. So Macau, right, they have casinos there, resorts, and I think with the consumer, with more stimulus being pumped in, eventually the consumer is going to have a little bit more money to spend, and they're going to go use it on entertainment. That's what life's all about. And we know, the Chinese people have had to deal with lockdowns longer than most and a struggling economy, right? So they haven't really wanted to go do that. But I think there's going to be a big rush to go gamble and have fun. And Macau, I think MLCO, Melco Resorts, is one you want to look at as well. And again, all these have been beaten up, and I think will continue to recover. So that's another one I have stashed away in my long-term account. So I just want to give you 4 different plays because everyone talks about the same stocks, like I said, like Alibaba, Pinduoduo, JD.com, NEO, right? All these names. And I'm not saying they're bad, except for the EV. I want to stay away from EVs because of the competition. I do like Alibaba, Pinduoduo, and Baidu. Remember, I do own those in my long-term account. I told you guys that as well. But these are just 4 others that are off the grid or that aren't getting talked about as much that you may want to consider.